Welcome back to the channel. I've got a Blu Ray update today. I've actually got a lot of stuff that's backlogged. I need to do a video showing what I've got. But we're going to start with these 10 or 12 titles and I'll work my way through. So there'll be quite a bit of videos coming in the next couple weeks. First up is Silent Madness. Of course, this is a title that has been out there a while. Great film. One of my favorite slashers, and I really think it's because of the prison guards. They're so psychotic and so entertaining. I mean, it's this thing was shot in 3D, and it's not the 3D is not that great, but the story is just a lot of fun. Basically, it's a killer that's escaped from an insane asylum, and the asylum's trying to like cover up the fact that they let this guy go accidentally. But like I say, the comedic parts of this is what makes the film, and the two attendants, the psych attendants, man, where they're trying to go capture this guy, are they're worse than the killer could ever be. But yeah, this is a fun film. It's got a lot of special features, a commentary track with the Hysteria Continues. I definitely recommend this one. Um, Simon Nocturne directed this. I wish he'd done more because I really do like this film a lot. Next up is The Caller from 1987. Arthur Siedelman directed this. I give this a 7 out of 10. Malcolm McDowell stars in it. And it's an interesting film that takes a sharp left turn. Basically, you have Malcolm McDowell and this girl, and the whole story is set in this basically one house, one room. And I do like those kind of claustrophobic, minimal settings. But it requires great acting. It requires the two people that carrying the film to really interact well with each other, and they do in this one. I think this is well done. This one is sparse on special features. Obviously, it's got a new scan, which looks fantastic, a new 2K scan. It's got an interview with the director, Arthur Sittleman, but other than that, it's an interview with the writer. But I still recommend it. It's a great release from Vinegar Syndrome. Next up is Kevin Tenney's The Cellar, 1987. And this is a much maligned, much troubled film, which Kevin Tenney in the interviews and the special features is more than willing to talk about. Basically, he was brought in. The producers fired their first director and brought him in, but it was a mess from start to finish. The producers took ownership of it after it was done and did their own re-edits, and it's just a mess. It's kind of a poor man's house, I guess is the best way I would describe this thing. It's. I mean, the monster doesn't look too bad. It's just a very convoluted mess, I think, and that's a shame. There's two cuts of the film: the producer's cut and the director's cut on this, which is interesting to look at and hear the differences in. And of course, Kevin Tenney's interviewed in this one. Patrick Kilpatrick kind of headlines in this film, and he does a great job. So I do like The Cellar, even though it's kind of a mess. I give it a 6 out of 10. Cigar time. Next up, It's Nothing, Mama, Just a Game, and that's from Mondo Macabro, one of my favorite releasing companies. And this is a beautiful release. This was a limited to 1,200, and I've got 807. It's also got some lobby cards and a booklet. This film stars David Hemmings, and he is a psychotic, spoiled brat. His mother indulges him, and he likes to torture women. That's basically his deal, and he likes to have them be submissive to him. But he runs into the wrong woman, which was really, it's got a great twist towards the end. I had a lot of fun with this. Directed by Jose Farouk, it's a Spanish film. Definitely recommend this film. audio commentary from Kat Ellinger, and a video essay on David Hemming. So yeah, this is a great release from Mondo. Definitely recommend that one. Next up is another Mondo release from 1971, and that's The Designated Victim, which is I believe this is a Spanish film. No, that's an Italian film. Uh, Lucidi directed it, and stars Thomas Milan. And Thomas Milan was he's a this is a kind of a giallo where Thomas Milan is married to this rich woman. She has all the money, she has all the power, and he's trying to get her to sell out and cash in, and she won't do it. And so eventually he concocts kind of he gets involved with this strange dude that convinces him that they could do a double murder and switch places. It's an interesting plot, and Thomas Milan's very good in it. Definitely recommend this one as well. This has a number of interviews. It's a 4K transfer. Um, a number of interviews with. It's got a commentary by the Fragments of Fear, which wasn't too bad. So yeah, I recommend Designated Victim as well. This is number 865 out of 1500. So, and it's got lobby cards and a booklet as well. Actually, I got that. I got the wrong booklet. I had It's Nothing, Mama, Just a Game, and the booklet in the other one. I usually, when I watch these, I watch them. I watch the special features and read the booklet, so it takes me some time to go through these. Next up is a classic slasher from 1980, and that's Fade to Black. Great film. Dennis Christopher is a tour de force performance as this movie-obsessed guy that snaps and basically starts killing people by reenacting these movies. He does a kill as the Mummy and Dracula and all these different things. Vernon Zimmerman directed it, and I kind of wish he'd done some other stuff because I really think this was a good one. I was trying to see if Dennis Christopher is Mickey Rourke. I guess I forgot to say Mickey Rourke is in a very early role in this, and you can just see right from this point that he's got star potential big time. But I thought it's a long slash for a slasher film. It's about kind of it's pushing it. It's well over 90 minutes, and it's pushing it. But it's a fun one. It's got multiple commentary tracks. One with the lead actor Dennis Christopher, Hysteria Continues commentary, and then a historical commentary track. So this is a loaded release from Vinegar Syndrome. All right, next up we've got Pandemonium, and I think this is 1982. Alfred Soule directed this, who also did Alice, Sweet Alice. It's a slasher comedy about a high school cheerleader group that basically this girl is going to try to bring back this high school cheerleading group after there had been a series of murders. And of course the murders start happening again, but it's all done in kind of tongue-in-cheek fashion. You've got Tom Smothers in this. I don't know if people remember, probably too young to remember Tom Smothers, the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. But he's funny. He's one of those guys that, he has that look. He gives you kind of the look, and you either think it's funny or you don't. But it always tickled me. He plays this ridiculous kind of cop, and I don't know. I just think he's funny. He tickles me. He doesn't have to do anything. He can just stand there and give that expression, and it kind of tickles me. But it's a fun film. It's lighthearted horror. It's a slasher comedy, they're tough to pull off. It's not great, and honestly, there's not a whole lot here. You got a 2K scan and an interview with the director, pretty much it. So it's a fairly bare bones release from Vinegar Syndrome. Next up is a film from Full Moon with a slip, and that's Orgy of the Living Dead, Paul Naschy flick. And this is one I had never seen before. Full Moon's fairly bare bones. Other than the slipcover, this is a kind of a bare bones release. But yeah, it's also known as The Hanging Woman. And it's directed by Jose Moreno and stars Paul Naschy. And basically, it's kind of a murder inheritance plot that turns full blown zombie in the last 30 minutes. And the zombies are fantastic in it. Well worth the wait. The zombies look as good as The Living Dead in the Manchester morgue. And the film came out before that, which I found interesting. So yeah, I give this a 7 out of 10. A neat little gothic horror film. All right, now we're gonna get into some stuff that's kind of sketchy, not very good, which is ironic because it's Arrow. The first one, this is not an Arrow release though. This is an MVD visual, and that's Veronica. This is a relatively recent film by Glenn Danzig, and he, what's a horror anthology, and it's shit, honestly. I give it a 2 out of 10. The story sucks, and the acting is horrible. And it's almost like, I mean, it's amazing that he thought that this was actually good. About the only thing decent about it was the eyeball tits. This girl has eyeball tits, and the girls do look good in it. But man, the acting is just horrendous. I mean, I don't know any other way to. I give it a 2 out of 10, but I'm gonna bump it to a 4 just because of the hot girls and the eyeball tits. But it's still shit. I mean, I would definitely not recommend this to anyone. I wouldn't spend your money on this. That's for damn sure. I don't know what he was thinking, but this is not good. Next up is an Arrow release, and it's not bad. It's just the subject matter sucks, and that's El Duce Tapes. About it's a documentary about the Mentors shock rock band, and their lead singer, I guess you can call, I don't know, I guess I really wouldn't, I don't think referring to the Mentors or El Duce as musicians or singers is appropriate. I mean, I don't think they're anything close to that. I think it's just shit. This is also shit, but it's a documentary about shit. So it's just, this guy's a loser. He's just, and it's kind of just uninteresting. After 20 minutes, I get it. He's kind of a drunk. He is a drunk that likes to. His 15 minutes of fame is shocking people. For a while there, in the late '80s, early '90s, you had a lot of shock-related TV shows. Morton Downey Jr. is probably the one that comes to mind most readily. And then you had, and I think maybe this guy was on there, Jerry Springer. For a while it was just, how can we shock people with something new and different? And this guy was parlaying the same thing. We're compensating for lack of talent by trying to shock people and upset them and basically talk about taboo things. Like this, his thing was rape, and it's just shit. And it's not even, like I say, it's not even interesting. I don't even know why you would want to. I watched this. I actually watched and listened to the commentary, and I gave this a fair shot. But at the end of it, after looking through, and you can see all the special features on this, I'm like, why? It's just kind of a waste. All right, let's get to something good, and that is Jack Hill's Switchblade Sisters. Really, really good women in chains, exploitation. Kind of basically this women gang is fighting for control of this area, this little town, and they end up going to jail and, the usual stuff. But it's a very good film, and it's got some interesting and poignant social commentary. So I'd give this an 8 out of 10. I thought it was great. I thought the lead actress was fantastic in it. And Jack Hill was just he really knew how to make an exploitation film. This is a great release. It's got a commentary by Sam Dean and Kat Ellinger. They're kind of a duo that seems to always be doing these audio commentaries. There's a documentary about the film. Great slew of special features for a great film. 8 out of 10. And then finally, I've got The Stylist. Jill Gilvarzate. I'm going to screw this name up. She must be Russian or Georgian, but Gilvargazian is the best shot I can give you for how you pronounce her name. But I think she's from St. Louis, which is interesting. Basically, this is about a girl named Claire who is a psycho hairstylist, and what she does is, a la the Maniac, she scalps them and keeps the scalps, and she wears their hair, as a wig. I guess she's trying to transform herself into something that she's not. And it's very stylish, polished film with some great kills. So I thought it was very good. Very good effort by Jill. Good film. This has a soundtrack, and it's got a Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray. Basically, it's a Blu-ray CD soundtrack combination. Audio commentary with the producer and director, which is also Jill Gilvargazian. And then Najara Townsend plays Claire. I thought she did a good job. The only thing I can say with this one is it was kind of hard to buy Claire having the psychological problem of wanting to be somebody else, because she's gorgeous. She's drop dead gorgeous, redhead. I just don't buy. I didn't buy out. She was much more attractive than the people she was scalping, so it was a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it just seems like if you were going to be portraying somebody that wanted to be someone else for a few minutes, they should have some kind of physical defect or something that makes them want to be different, because this girl's drop dead gorgeous. Why would she want to ever be anybody different? But anyway, it's a good film with great kills. So, all right, that's going to do it for my first update, and maybe the last for December. I'll probably do another one in the next few days, just before January 1st. But if I don't see you then, happy holidays. Thanks for watching.